Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up?
Really like that.
You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Thursday evening. Second stream, best stream. You know, had a little technical difficulties to start the show tonight, but it's all good. We are here and live and ready to rock. We do indeed have a loaded show for you guys. We have a saying around here every single Thursday: last show, best show. And this one, Kirby, because of the technical difficulties, will probably be a slow build. Ain't nothing wrong with a slow build.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
You know, I once had an advisor, not necessarily an advisor, but somebody I trust in this industry. He once told me, hey, you'd rather be somebody who throws wood onto the fire than be the person who just gets started with a fire starting log. And here's why. Coals. You know what I mean? Good coal bed is the whole reason a fire burns hot. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And if anything we've done around this network, it's lay a good coal bed over the last year since we started doing this national college football coverage. And I think we do it really, really well around here. So glad you guys could be here tonight. Hope you've ultimately found us. It seems like most of you have. So we appreciate you for being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. I do have an opening for you. I want to start right here. Confirmation bias. What does it mean? I looked up the definition today. A tendency to interpret new evidence as confirmation of one's existing beliefs or theories. Confirmation bias is a real thing, okay? Especially a real thing in opinion-giving businesses, right? Someone who does something like this, gets in front of a microphone, spews hot takes, hot opinions for a long time. We give a lot of opinions about a lot of things. That ultimately brings a level of confirmation bias on new opinions of old things that we've already given opinions on, right? This is what confirmation bias ultimately is. Whether it be we label a coach one thing or we label a player another thing, whatever that labeling may be, we tend to stick to that label or look for things to confirm that label that we ultimately gave that individual or that topic or that discussion, whatever it may be. Kalen DeBoer, when he first got the head coaching job at Alabama, the first question he got labeled with, right? Because it's not always a direct labeling of a coach. It might be a labeling of an issue that the coach might have to overcome, and he'll consistently have to overcome that issue. With Kalen DeBoer, that labeled issue was, will this guy be able to recruit in the South? Will he be able to come down here? Didn't recruit that well at Washington, didn't necessarily have to, or didn't necessarily prioritize it, won on the field. Didn't necessarily went on the recruiting trail. Will he be able to come down here in this Southeastern Conference, this recruiting hotbed, and come down here and recruit with the big boys? Will he be able to, win over South or Southern recruits? And today, or this week rather, if you were paying attention to the news and you saw the Keelan Russell flip, you got confirmation bias one way or the other, right, Kirby? Yep. You look at this and you see him flip this guy out of Duncanville High School in Texas, one of the biggest Texas high schools that there is, right? Perennial, state contending, national powerhouse, Duncanville, Texas. By God, if Kalen DeBoer can take his northern rooted butt and go down there into Duncanville, Texas, and flip a kid to get him to come to Alabama, boom, there it is. I told you, he'd have no problem. This is a winner. I told you, he's got to have no problem coming down here and recruiting, right? You got your confirmation today or this week, right? If you saw this news, Keelan Russell flips to Alabama, boom, there it is. Texas high school product going to Alabama. There's your, high school quarterback that is really highly rated too. I think he's the 7th overall rated high school quarterback. You got your confirmation, right? This guy's going to be able to do it. And if you're one of these people that looks at this and you want to look for a confirmation of otherwise, of your original take of this guy ain't gonna be able to cut it. Ain't no way this dude's ever gonna be able to come down here and recruit at the level he needs to. Bama is falling. Bama is falling. Bama is falling. It's on fire. Right? If you want to be one of these people, you got your confirmation bias today on the same exact news storyline. On my timeline, I see people standing on a hill saying, told you, Kalen DeBoer going to be able to recruit. And on the other end, I got people saying, Bama is falling. Look at them flipping commits from SMU. Bama. flipping a commit from SMU. And if you really want to take it further, you could say, man, look at this guy's 24/7 composite profile. This guy was ranked outside the 370 until like 2 months ago when the tea leaves started to leak out that this might be a possibility that he might end up flipping to a big Power 4 school. And then all of a sudden the tea leaves start falling and all of a sudden his ranking starts falling. Whatever it may be, however you see this fit, right? You're going to search for confirmation bias here. You're going to stamp your previous approval or your previous take on Kalen DeBoer's ability to recruit in the South, whichever way, right? I could spin this both ways. Here's the way I spun it. Here's my confirmation bias. You ready? When I saw the whole Jalen Milroe debate this offseason, and I saw Kalen DeBoer take over this job, the first thing I thought was, not is Jalen Milroe good enough? Will this guy survive? Is there going to be a quarterback battle? That wasn't my first thought process. My first thought process was, man, Jalen Milroe sure is a whole hell of a lot different than anything Kalen DeBoer's ever played with or recruited or prioritized or wanted, really. I mean, look at him. He gets to Washington. The first thing he does is goes get Michael Penix. Michael Penix and Jalen Milroe could not be any more different. Okay, and then the first thing he does in recruiting at the quarterback position is go and get Austin Mack to reclassify. Austin Mack is 6'6". He's 225 pounds. He's a modern day pro style quarterback. He's as statuesque quarterbacks can be. Then he gets into the portal at Washington before he takes the Alabama job, and he's like, you know who I want? I want me some Will Rogers. Will Rogers is nowhere near anything like Jalen Milroe. They're two totally different football players. Matter of fact, some would argue they don't even really play the same position. And then your first order of business when you get to Alabama is to flip Keelan Russell. Kirby, Keelan Russell is 6'3", 175 pounds. And yes, he may run. He will not be running in college. He's going to get broken in half like a twig and constantly be hurt. Who does that sound like? That sounds a whole hell of a lot like me, like Michael Penix. This is reverting back to my original take of Jalen Milroe doesn't look anything like a historical Kalen DeBoer quarterback. And that's my confirmation bias from this latest news of Alabama flipping an SMU commit, or whether you want to say he's an SMU commit, was outside the 350 and then got vaulted up, or whether you want to be an Alabama pro debater and say, look, man, this is the number 7 overall quarterback in the country committed to Alabama now out of a southern state school. Whatever you want to take, I take it my way of, oh, this is him back to telling us what he actually likes at the position, which is not, historically Jalen Milroe. Not to say that they're not going to do well with him this year. What was your take on it, Kirby? Where's your confirmation bias here? How did you sort this news of Keelan Russell being flipped to Alabama from SMU?
Yeah, similar like what you said. I mean, it's obvious now that Kalen DeBoer has a type. He wants a quarterback that's maybe not necessarily going to be a running or a big athletic guy. Not that matters to him. So it's going to be I'm curious as to how this is going to go. Because it's one of those things, like, you can pick this apart or you can praise it up all you want. Because, I mean, yes, there's an aspect of Kalen DeBoer hasn't really ever had to recruit out of Texas, and the fact that he made a flip is a good sign. But it's also like Alabama's having to flip SMU players. And, like, I can see both sides of it. And it's like you said, whatever side you want to take. I think it's probably Kalen DeBoer getting bodies in the room of the type of quarterback he wants. I don't think this is necessarily like, oh shit, we got to go find our next starting quarterback. Let's take the SMU guy because we don't have any other option. I don't think it's a desperation act.
And it also seems like, he got there in January. I told you, if you don't have to search too far. First of all, as soon as coaches change over, their boards flip, right? They want who they want. So they come in, they change the quarterback board and the recruiting rankings, if you will, on their most desirable list. And so I guarantee you, as soon as DeBoer got there, it started. I don't read Bama boards, but I wish our boy Smooth was here tonight because he could probably confirm this. I bet this is how this happens.
He's never here when you need him.
No, he's not. Typical. Anyways, here's how I guarantee this happened. About February, it starts leaking out. Hey, the DeBoer and his staff really like this Keelan Russell kid. Mm-hmm. First leak. Second leak, about January, February, March. About mid-March. Hey, Alabama's really, really close to pulling the trigger on flipping this Keelan Russell kid. And then all of a sudden, guess what you start seeing? Rankings start going. Why? Because this Power 4 school, who is constantly in the top 10 of recruiting or in the top 5, who knows their shit and is on top of their business, is now about to take this kid. Same thing happened with Matt Zollers last fall. Last fall, it was like, oh, Georgia's about to get in on this kid? All the way up inside the top 20. Mizzou signs him. you're going to see him fall. Just watch. This is how these things work, right?
Right.
It's all based, not all based on title, but it's a little based on headline, right?
Yeah.
We don't want the 3-star SMU commit flipping to Alabama. We want the 4-star number 7 quarterback in the country when he flips. We want that guy flipping to Alabama. Just like every last uncommitted commit will be a ratings boost. You watch. You want to get your ratings boosted? Be the last guy to commit. You're the last storyline. They have to make you a 5-star. It's just the rule.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like the major programs never really get just like the middle of the road, really solid players. It's either like, hey, this is the 3-star underdog story where he didn't have this was the only Power 5 offer he had, or it's, oh my God, this is the most generational talent we have. He's a 5-star. Like, there's really no in between with that with these big programs.
One of the, oh my God, this school gets, it's one of the biggest overblown things in the history of the recruiting industry is the Bama bump or the Georgia bump or the bump. I'm here to tell you, of course there's a bump. Of course there's a bump, because guess who gets it right more than everybody else? Guess who also has the resources to get it right more than everybody else? These schools.
Yeah.
So I've always said on here on this show, first of all, these systems are the school systems produce way too many talented football players to expect any ranking service to ever get it 100% right. It's an impossible task, first and foremost. Secondly, these staffs at these ranking systems aren't near as big as you think they are. There's like 5 or 6 people across the country handling thousands and thousands of evals. Those guys work their butts off. So the fact that they even get it reasonably right is a tremendous tip of the cap to all these guys, okay? They all do a great job. But first and foremost, they need to be responsive to how the schools react, right? A primary example, Todd Robinson, starting quarterback, Valdosta High School. He's a quarterback. But all of a sudden in February, Georgia offers him, and now the whole SEC's offered him. Well, guess who's probably going to get a massive recruiting bump? Todd Robinson, because now the entire Power 4 sees him as a defensive back or a running back, and the recruiting service has probably been looking at this guy as a athlete that they didn't know what to do with. And now he's got major offers. So they're always going to be following offers. They always should be following offers. Don't know how we necessarily spun off to that. But I know how. But the Bama bump. This kid was 380th. Now he's ranked inside the top 100. Why? Well, now he's a Bama commit, and that covers a little bit different weight. All right. Welcome into tonight's show. We have a loaded one for you, as always. The playoff schedule, the college football playoff schedule was announced. I got a couple of thoughts and a quote I want to read you because, man, when they put it, we know it's all about money, but sometimes they put it right there in front of your face, and I want to read that to you. Kirby apparently has an unprovoked question for me that I don't know about, so it just made it in the show notes. A Kirby Q for BA, which is awesome. Do you know I have an email account that's set up strictly for fan questions? Really? I did not know it's that. Called Football Q for BA. Football, the letter Q, FORBA@gmail.com, and that's where you can send in any specific football question. Hey, how does the huddle go? Where do people line up? If you got any, what's a random football question you can think of, send it right there. Okay, Football Q for BA.
How many questions do you usually average on that?
Oh, I haven't read that in a while. I haven't given out that email account in forever. So I hope I get some questions in there tonight. So there's that. No, we didn't watch the film. Smooth. He's asking me if we watched the film on Keelan Russell. I watched it earlier. I don't know if you want my opinion. You know what? It looked. I said Michael Penix. Michael Penix's high school tape didn't look great. I didn't see a lot of life in that football. But granted, I'm watching Texas high school football, so you might as well be watching the tape from a damn. What do you call it? The sky cam. You might as well be watching it from the damn the Goodyear blimp, because them damn stadiums are so big and they don't have coaches copy. So it's really, really hard. I've always said I never really like to give my true 100%. This is my opinion on a quarterback unless I've seen him in person. So if we've got some Keelan Russell Elite 11 stuff coming this summer, maybe I'll give you my true opinion then. But until then, I don't like to stamp yes or no. I just didn't love the tape. So there's that. But anyways, we got this playoff schedule. He's got a question for me. We're gonna go greatest cover athletes of the NCAA video game. I know you guys love when we talk video games. We're going to talk a little bit tonight. Also going to give you our top 5 players that you didn't get to play with in NCAA. And some different fun storylines like team chefs. We're going to talk some team culinary tonight. So that'll be fun. And logos. Logos coming to the midfield. I don't know. where we're going to go with that topic or discussion, but we're going to talk about it. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
And we got some clarity. We'll get to it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate and review. And we are live on YouTube and Twitter right now. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, please feel free to do so. If you have not, also, did it go out on Twitter?
I mean, the numbers would suggest it did.
Okay, so just my Twitter app's being stupid. Shout out to our boy Elon. Anyways, we are live on YouTube and Twitter. If you have not subscribed over on YouTube, please feel free to do so. Just search the Film Guy Network. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, please do so at Brooks Austin BA. So that handles that business. We are indeed live on Twitter, it says. So there is that. And if you miss any portion of tonight's broadcast, you can find us readily available. However, wherever you catch out your podcast, just search the Film Guy Network. Want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. If you have not already, head over to prizepicks.com, use promo code Brooks. You'll get a 100% deposit match. NBA Finals start tonight. I think that just tipped off. So unfortunately, you can't get any action in on that. But there's multiple games coming up there. WNBA action, MLB still playing on a nightly basis. So there's plenty of action to be had over on Prize Picks. I got mine in Tuesday night when Taco Tuesday was available.
Smart.
Jason Tatum's probably already covered. I had him at 0.5 points. So Tuesdays and Fridays, need to be checking out the deals for sure over on prizepicks.com using that promo code Brooks. So yeah, what do we want to do first? We want to talk about this playoff scheduling?
Let's do it.
All right. Email. I want to read you this quote. We all know this is about money, right? The whole expansion was about money. We know it was about money. When I read quotes like this, Curb, I'm like, why didn't y'all just go ahead and jump to 64? Because I know you some bitches want to do it. Listen to this.
Don't do it.
Quote, the CFP has contributed to the most watched days in ESPN's nearly 45-year history, led by the first playoff semifinals in 14 and 15, boosting ESPN to 11.6 million average viewers for New Year's Day. The playoff semifinals in 18, 22, and 2024 anchored ESPN in rounding out the top 4 complete day audiences in network history. College football on ESPN accounts for the top 15 and more than 50 of the top 100 most watched cable programs on record since 1987, with 8 of the top 10 directly from the playoff semifinals or national championship games. Why did we skip 6 and go straight to 12? Why did we skip 8 and go straight to 12? Why did we go straight to 12? And why will we not stop at 12? Well, there you go. 8 of the top 10 in the history of the ESPN network. Been tracking back to 1987. That'll do it, Curb. That'll do everything you need to do. And I know nowadays ratings are real weird. Some people stream stuff. How do you count linear television? All that stuff. There it is, right there in front of everybody. They're just bragging about the amount of just pure record-breaking shit we watched this, or at a clip that we watched this at.
Yeah, and this was kind of a gong we've been banging for a while. Like, the entire reason that this expansion thing is happening wasn't because, it needed to happen. It was going to make the games more fair. Now, obviously, the 2023 season kind of solidified that with how many teams were left out that could have made it, but it's been about money the entire time. ESPN's wanted to expand because they knew they'd have the rights to this, and they knew that more games was going to bring in more revenue for them. So it makes sense.
I don't know if they absolutely knew they'd have the rights to this. I think there was some. They
felt confident.
Yeah, it was definitely some shenanigans. I mean, if you know you're going to get something, you ain't out here paying $7.8 billion for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that was the final number on that. Yeah, $7.8 billion. But no, there's some general notes here to be had. Selection date will be December 8th. That's, I guess, right after, championship weekend or conference championship weekend.
That's usually about when it is, I think.
It's normally right after that Sunday. It's at noon, right after Saturday playoff games. And then they spend about 6 hours on that network breaking down what happened. I would imagine this selection show is now much, much more expansive and extensive.
It's got to be. I mean,
probably got like a 4 or 5 hour preamble before they even give us the rankings nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, it just got 3 times bigger, so it makes sense.
That means our super stream just got 3 times bigger every time it comes up. That'll be fun.
Did we do a super stream list?
We did towards the end, like the final selection show. I remember doing a super stream. I think we were here for 2 hours.
I don't remember doing that.
We've been doing a lot of show, bud. We've been doing a lot of show.
It's been a minute.
Other notes to be had here. 1 full entire month, 31 days of football games.
Oh my God.
Playoff football games.
I have the entire 3 week slate I can read it off if you want.
I mean, go ahead. I got it right here in front of me as well. I'd love to hear it.
This is including NFL games.
Oh, Lord.
So,
no. This is a graphic. Don't do this to our audience. You're going to read 31 days in a row? Is it literally 31 days of football?
No, it's about that, actually.
Is it? How many days off? Count those for me.
So I'll just do this. From December 19th to Sunday, January 12th, it's going to be all postseason football with the exception of a couple of regular season NFL
So this is bowl games, college football playoff games, NFL football games, the whole caboot.
Correct. I just have bowl games and NFL games on here.
Yeah.
So I'm not
That's why I said college football playoff. You're including that in
I'm not counting like bowl games. Like your Gasparilla Bowl, it's not on here.
Oh, okay. This is only the big ones.
Yeah. But it's going to be December's going to be a great time of year. That's all.
Yeah, so the college football playoff starts December 20th on a Friday night at 8 p.m. That's the first round game. That's one of the games on ESPN. And then Saturday at noon, you're going to have to wake up and get the TNT. Hope you still got it. Hope you still got TNT wherever you get your linear television channels. And so get over there at noon and then stay there at 4 o'clock for the other first round game. And then the fourth and final first round game will be Saturday night, December 21st on ABC and ESPN. So you're going to have to kind of do the flippity floppy, no different than you do on NFL Sunday of, hey, this game's on CBS. Let's run over to ESPN and get on to the next one. And then the quarterfinal games start New Year's Eve. Okay, the first quarterfinal game, the Fiesta Bowl, is at 7:30. All those first round games will obviously be played at home sites. This is the weird thing for me, Kirby. I know it's a sidetrack here. I hope they fix this next year. And this is what I'm talking about. Why in the hell do I need to go win a conference if I don't get a playoff game at home?
Yeah, that's
like why does the fourth seed get a playoff game at home and I don't? Because I went 13-0 in the hardest conference in the country and I don't get a home playoff game? That's stupid as shit.
I guess the counter argument to that is you get a bye. But I mean,
keep the bye. I want the $20 million gate or whatever I'm making from that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, just think about it. In Athens, Georgia gets Oklahoma round one.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nice. It would be any round one game in Athens, whatever it may be, or any of these major programs is going to be nuts. And I think they're going to fix this. I don't know if they put it into paperwork, but obviously there's so many major at-large bids for bowl games and stuff that they want to keep these bowl games intact. But if I'm a perennial top ranked opponent, if I'm Ohio State, I'm pissed off. This doesn't behoove me. It helps out the 3, 4, 5 seed.
Again, I think that's kind of the worry that you're taking the incentive away to win your conference now.
Correct.
Because that's great. We have to play one additional game to get one game off,
and we don't get a home.
And we don't get the home game. Like it's.
Yeah, you really don't even get the game off.
Not really.
You don't even get a bye. Everyone else got the bye that you're working to get by not playing in the conference championship.
Not to mention if you lose that game,
Fugazi. Yeah.
So.
All right. So that is New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, the Fiesta Bowl. New Year's Day is the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And then you got another quarterfinal game. Oh my God, there's 3 quarterfinal games on New Year's Day. So you're just going to be a college football fiend on New Year's. You got the Rose. Oh my God, it's the Fiesta Bowl, the New Year's Eve, Peach Bowl, New Year's Day at noon or at 1 o'clock, Rose Bowl at 5, and then the All-State Sugar Bowl at 9, basically 9 o'clock. That game will probably kick off at 9:15. I would imagine. Yeah. Because the Rose Bowl is always running late. And then the semifinal isn't until January 9th. And then January 10th, they'll play another one. And then the national championship is, of course, on a Monday, January 20th. Also, really, really weird that you got semifinal games on Thursday and Friday night. That's weird to me. I don't like that.
I don't hate it.
I mean,
because you gotta think it's at a time where there's nothing else going on.
Ain't shit going on, but I'm with you. But it's still gonna be very weird, especially like just calendar wise. We are programmed football on Saturday, and now y'all gonna give us a Thursday, Friday, Monday semifinal and natty trip. I think that's gonna mess with people's brains just a little bit.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you think about it as well. Like Thursday, Friday, then you get NFL, Saturday, Sunday, and
correct.
So I mean.
Oh no, they're dodging the big boy.
Yeah,
they've succumbed to that. There's no doubt about that. You know what is the equivalent of pay the teachers?
What's
Save
that?
the Whales.
Put the national championship on.
Move the national championship to a Saturday. It is the Save the Whales take. Okay, everyone wants it on Saturday. Guess what? We've been bitching about that for what? 15 years?
As long as I've
been. The BCS.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I've been alive. So guess what? It ain't happening. They ain't moving it. So we can complain and we can have the same take every year about damn this sucks. Guess what? Yo ass gonna be up till 1:30 in the morning on a Monday night watching the Natty. We all are. So they got us. They know we ain't going nowhere, so they ain't moving it. We've talked about it ad nauseum, I feel like, with these network changes as of late. We talked about it most recently with the Georgia Tech movement. All they're doing is trying to get more merchandise on the shelf. Okay, every Tuesday, every Monday, every Thursday, every Friday that is on the fall calendar, that football, big football, like we got Big Pharma out here. If big football ain't on one of them days, guess what? They coming for them. They coming. Like Dion says, they are coming for those days because this is all linear television programs got left. Let's put a damn game on the day, on that day. Let's find a day to put a game on that. All right. That's why Max should move to a Tuesday night randomly out of the middle of nowhere in the middle of one of the lowest linear television declines in the history of linear television. They needed merchandise, and now they're just putting the big merchandise on those days. So just get ready.
I'm totally fine with it, honestly. Like I know
you are. I know you are. You are prime time. I'm trying to just consume all the football in the world. But guess what? Some of us have regular jobs, regular wives, regular kids, all this stuff. Eventually, these time slots that you have available for football, they will get squeezed into one day where your wife allows you to be a football fiend, and you can sit there and do all your football. And then guess what? Sunday is time to be a dad again.
That's why you got to make watching football a career path.
I've tried.
So what we're doing right now?
We're doing it. We're doing it really well.
We're talking about football, and it's considered work.
Yeah, no. This is how I explain to people what I do. They're like, "What do you do?" I was like, "I talk football for a living."
Talk about football, and I make money doing it.
Talk about football for a living. It's kind of a dream, and it's only allowed by people over at the Film Guy Network subscribing, hitting that thumbs up button, and firing off in the chat. Maybe a super sub every once in a while wouldn't hurt. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt at all. We could put food on the kids' tables. So that's good. Yeah, where's the Natty is the question I'm getting right here. I think that's in Mercedes-Benz, is it not?
Yeah, the Natty's in Atlanta this year.
All right, Natty is in Atlanta this year. So there you go.
Because another article play. We put an article out. Georgia could play in the Benz 3 times this year.
Hey, they own the Benz. I think their win rate's considerably higher than even the Falcons at home.
I don't know about the Falcons, but
why not? They've lost 2 games, both to Bama. They've won every other one, right?
No, they lost to LSU in 2019 too.
Oh, that's right. God, that was a wagon of a football team, dude.
They've lost to Bama way more than twice.
Yeah. I don't know. My memory doesn't serve me all that well all that time. How long before 12? Or excuse me, 12 to 16. How long?
God, I hope it's not very short.
I give it 2 years.
You think?
Or the contract of the length of the contract, which I think is 6.
It feels like Joe Klatt talked about this today. He was like, I think 12.
What's up? You've been rocking with Klatt lately. Klatt been making the notes.
Klatt's the only one who's putting out shit right now.
Klatt's working.
Yeah.
Hey,
shout out Joe Klatt.
We see you, Joe Klatt. We're working. You might as well work too.
That's exactly what it is. Like he's the only main figure giving takes right now. So Klatt talked about this today. He said, "I think 12 to 14 teams is perfect for the sanctity of the sport because the regular season is what matters in college football, and if you make anything more than that, you're losing value in the regular season, which is why people have even argued we didn't even need to go to 12 in the first place. So now the argument is we don't need to go to anything more than 12 to 14." Just because we're going to lose value in the regular season, which he's absolutely right. I mean, we walked about it yesterday. Like, losing a game in the 14 playoff was almost a death sentence. Losing 2 games was a death sentence. Now you can get 3 losses and still backdoor your way in. So
the only thing I love Klatt because he'll actually say something. Like he'll give an opinion,
right?
And not very many full bore national. He's on broadcast. He's standing next to Gus. He's supposed to be this completely unbiased guy. He will tell you what he thinks, except for the Fox bias. That is so obvious when he talks.
Yeah, that
I can't see through that. But other than that. That dude.
Well, and it is also rich that the Fox guys hey, no more playoff games.
Yeah, stop. See what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But
you can see it right there in front of everybody.
I do also think that's a take he believes in, and that's not just something he's doing for the sake of his company. We got to stop ESPN from getting all these playoff games.
Now, every time he talks Penn State, just turn it off.
Yep.
Because here comes that Fox, baby.
Or USC or anything like that.
Yeah, or just the bunch. At least, he didn't cape that much for. Yeah, he did. He caped for the Pac-12 for a little bit, but. It was worth caping for the last year.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Were you surprised they skipped over 6 or 8?
I was more disappointed that they did. I wasn't surprised because, As soon as that number got floated out, like, hey, they're looking at 12 teams, you knew that was what it was going to be. Because like we said, you make more money to do that. It's simple mathematics. If you take the amount of games you had from the original 14 playoff and tripled it, you're going to make triple the revenue. Like that's just mathematics for that. So why would you go to 6 to 8 and not capitalize on those gains? It makes sense. I mean, it sucks. I don't think it's right. I think there are no more than 6 to 8 teams a year, if you're lucky, that can truly compete for a national title. But oh well, here we are at 12, and then we'll be at 14 sooner or later.
And here we are for the third day in a row this week. Just, hey, PFF did some work. Let's do some work on top of PFF's work. Yeah. PFF gave us another list. We've talked about PFF's running back list. We've talked about PFF's wide receiver list. Tonight, we're going to talk about PFF's offensive line list, which I don't necessarily agree with.
It was interesting.
For yet another consistent, theme here, there a lot of transfers. Mm-hmm. A lot of transfer heavy teams making this list randomly. But here we go. We'll go 10 to 1. I think 1's the big reveal. So we'll go 10 to 1. All right. Number 10. I was kind of shocked to see Florida on this list. They returned 3 of 5 starters. I think they SEC slid one in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the SEC.
SEC roster recruits well. Let's slide a guy.
Good amount of returning production.
Yeah. Good amount of returning production that Pro Football Focus liked.
Yep.
Okay, is what the beat was there. Now, Florida State, very interesting here. Florida State returns, I think, 5 of the 8 top snap getters from a year ago. All right. And they went out and pillaged some village. All right. They stole a starter from Florida, took an interior offensive lineman, a guard that's going to start for them this year, and went to Alabama and took off Terrence Ferguson. Now, Ferguson wasn't playing at Alabama. Ferguson's from Peach County High School. The indications are that Ferguson's either going to start for them or going to get real playing time. My question to you, Kirby, is like, how I understand the interior offensive line at Alabama and how good it is. But if you can't play at Bama and you're an automatic starter and upgrader at Florida State, how much further are they down? You see what I'm saying? How much further are they from being that? And by the way, we can talk about all the opt-outs. I thought that was the, holy shit, these two teams look like they play a different sport almost, was the difference at Georgia and Florida State on the line of scrimmage. Not just the scoreboard. We get that. The line of scrimmage was noticeable. Holy hell, look at those guys. Oh, what's going on over there?
Yeah, I don't think you can look too much into it when, another team takes, quote unquote, one other team's scraps. Like, we've seen really talented players go elsewhere, like Jameson Williams at Alabama. Like, he couldn't start at Ohio State, and it was kind of like that wasn't necessarily a situation where, if you're not good enough to be here, what makes you think that this is an upgrade for Alabama? Like Joe Burrow to LSU. There's a lot of guys that just
can't do it all the time.
Just didn't earn their shot, whether it was the guy in front of you just had his spot and played well enough to secure it or something like that, to where I don't think being a backup necessarily means you're not good.
By the way, loved Ferguson coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Was a very, very clean prospect coming out of high school. One of the very first edits we ever made for Terrence Ferguson. Did a top 8 for him. Going into his junior year.
Little Hayes Fawcett action?
No, little Dallas Hobbs. Dallas Hobbs was a defensive lineman at Washington State. I found him on Twitter just doing random edits, graphic design, under a pseudonym. And I come to find out he is a defensive lineman at Wazoo, playing for Mike Leach at the time.
Wow.
Dallas actually made headlines in college football for being the guy that made the edit for Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields to announce that they were basically unionizing to fight the COVID season being shut down, lockdown or whatever. So
wow,
full circle. Dallas Hobbs, Terrence Ferguson, college football major impact. Who that type of deal. Florida State at number 9. Miami at number 8, and I get it. Miami, check this out. Miami's got 2 guys that I ranked at the top of their position coming out of high school playing tackle. Francis Moaga, I ranked as an interior offensive lineman. Thought he was going to be a great guard projection. He's actually going to maybe be an NFL dude at right tackle. He is paired with Samson Akunlola. Akunlola was my number 1 tackle coming out of high school from up there, I believe, in New Jersey, somewhere up northeast. 5-star super freak athlete. He's going to start for them this year at left tackle. Francis at right guard or at right tackle. And they filled in a bunch of other spots in there on the interior of offensive line. Missouri comes in at number 7, Kirby. A complete overhaul in the portal yet again. Most notably, they took a tackle from Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean,
I believe is from the state of Missouri. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they returned 3 of their 5 starters, so it kind of makes sense. This is it gives Florida shades to me, but obviously they're a better unit than Florida, where it's you've got an SEC program that has a good amount of returning production. The production was rated highly coming out of high school, so why not just rate them in this list? It makes sense.
Absolutely. All right, Ohio State at number 6. They returned 4 starters and Seth McLaughlin.
Yeah.
The only problem is the 4 starters. That's not a problem. It's just not. There's no Paris Johnson over there. You know what I mean? Like there's no guarantee. The big right tackle, the DeJuan Jones guy. There's no one of those over there. There's no super freaks right now at Ohio State. They're just kind of ho-hum. And this is something you got to pay attention to. Okay, I'm not saying that they're doing what Clemson did, but the very first thing I do is I pay attention. Offensive line, defensive line recruitment. What are you doing? Ohio State has fallen off dramatically at defensive line recruitment and edge rushing recruitment. Okay, Jack Sawyer and Tia Maluau. I'm pretty sure they paid those guys to come back. Not because they're just great players, but what was it going to look like after that? Go find me. You know what I'm saying? Like, go look for the future at the edge rushing position, at the defensive line position for all those guys up there. They've signed some good guys. They got to develop that position. Same thing at the offensive line. So that's something to pay attention to moving forward. Because in years past, Ohio State's 2, 3, 4 in this mix. They're at 6 and kind of heading down with return starting. At number 5 is Oregon. They got 2 really, really good tackles. One of which was a transfer from I think the Mountain West. That was there last year. He's there for a second year this year. Any thoughts on Oregon?
Not really. I don't know enough about that unit. It's
one of those real fun to watch on tape offensive lines for years, especially back to Mario Cristobal years. They got Mirabal. You know about this Mirabal cat?
I've heard about him.
The Miami offensive line coach.
Yeah,
he yay tall.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Give me one. He's yay tall. I shit you not. Okay, and
cool,
is like
4'8".
Yeah, and is like one of the highest paid offensive line coaches in the history of offensive line coaching. So there's that. But that's why Miami's constantly in these mixes, because Mirabal's there, and that's why Oregon still retains this kind of stature, if you will, because Mirabal was there for a while. Texas in at number 4. They've got 4 or 5 returning starters coming back, and Kelvin Banks, who I rated as the number 2 tackle coming out of high school, behind some other cat.
What year was it?
I think it's 2022.
It's not Broderick. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who
it might have been a Georgia signee. You know, I'm a biased little homer. LSU at number 3.
Makes sense. I mean,
it does not. They're the best offensive line in the country.
Okay.
I think.
It makes sense as to why they're so high. Like we've been talking about for it feels like 2 years. These 2 tackles that they have are insane.
They're top 15 projections.
Yeah.
They're apps. Now, Will Campbell's set pisses me off. I think I mimicked it already on the show, didn't I?
Do it again. It's not going to hurt.
I mean, all right, here we go. Got the 5-inch seams on today, baby. Will Campbell pass set. We're ready. Oh, he's a left tackle. So here we go. Does that look like a right tackle to the viewer?
No, it's looks like a left.
All right, here we go. Will Campbell's pass set. Everybody ready? That's it. This is his stance right here. I don't get it, but boy, he be locking motherfuckers.
It works. It works.
I still got it. Anyways, yeah, that one baffles me, but he's really, really good. The tackle on the right side is really, really good. And here's the deal. I got text messages. I always save them. I'll even when I have an opinion and the guy doesn't need it, the coach or whoever I'm talking to doesn't need it, I'll put it into a text formation so I can save it. DJ Chester was an offensive tackle at Eagles Landing Christian Academy. Okay. I was all over him coming out of high school. He's about 275 pounds coming out of high school. So he's real, real thin, and guys couldn't figure him out. They didn't know what he was going to be. But my God, the tape. He's going to start this year as a redshirt freshman at center for LSU. So, and they returned 2 like borderline all SEC interior guys too. So there it is. LSU at number 3, Georgia at number 2. And Bama at number 1 solely off of guard play.
Yeah, the headline or the article literally writes, Alabama's interior offensive line is clearly the best in the nation. Like it doesn't mention anything about tackle play. It just mentions the first 3 inside, which I mean. It's
Caden Proctor, who, by the way, I think his overall grade, here's how they trick you. He said his last 4 games played at a 75.8 on PFF. First 8 games or whatever the other ones were at 58.5. So basically, he was a 65 all year long. Not great. All right, I know he's a true freshman. But my thing is, until Caden Proctor wants to play at like 335, I don't know. I think he might be a turnstile. I don't think it was a byproduct of you weren't physically ready or you weren't technically ready. He was technically clean coming out of Iowa. It was the fact that he played last year like 365 is what it looked like. He was huge.
Yeah, big boy.
So yeah, we got to trim that down, and then they're going to start Elijah Pritchett for the first time over at right tackle this year as well. A kid out of Carver, Columbus. That was my number one tackle coming out.
Do you think that the fact that Washington won the Joe Moore last year, now Kalen DeBoer's on this team, has given that room a boost per se?
They're going to start that center from Washington.
Yeah, but like I'm saying like on this rankings, like they're looking at, Washington did this last year. Now they have the head coach that got them there. This is what's giving Bama that edge.
Perhaps, but I mean, it's just such a different unit. I mean, Elijah Pritchett kind of looks and feels like an athletic Washington tackle. I mean, at least out of high school he was. We literally have not seen him in 3 years. We've read some headlines about him. They're not great. Okay, if you just run a Google there and you'll figure that one out. But anyways, out of high school, he looked like a Washington tackle, a mover. Guy like the Mowaga kid that just got drafted out of Washington at tackle. Looks a lot like that. Caden Proctor does not. Right. These guards, Tyler Booker and the other two guards that are highly rated, those guys are like 345 pounds. They're real big. Like they're road graders. It's why the takes were the takes, right? We're going to be big bully ball, right? Because they had these big, massive humans. That's the opposite of what Washington had. It's why like everyone had all these different questions about DeBoer. My biggest question is like the roster and how you play football, they do not coincide. I'm not saying you can't make it work, but they just don't coincide. What you did and what you do is not what this roster is kind of compromised or what do you call it? Put together to do. It's just not.
Yeah, I mean you can't have a drag race car when you're doing like different types of Monte Carlo types events.
It would be like watching Vin Diesel use that big old Fast and Furious car in Tokyo Drift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like an F1 car in the NASCAR.
Tokyo Drift, underrated Fast and Furious?
Well, Vin Diesel's not in Tokyo Drift.
He's at the very last scene.
True.
See, that's why you don't even know. Tokyo Drift, underrated?
I would say it's probably more properly rated in that series.
Nah, dude. I think it's one of the better ones of the series, personally.
I agree, but like I think people agree with that. Fate of the Furious 2 is also good.
Oh my God, the heel turn in the chat is crazy. Why you still talking about saving his D all on your breath? Coming from a Bama fan, that is crazy.
Smooth.
Welcome back.
Smooth is an elite troll.
He is.
He gets the chat going.
I like him being.
Long live Smooth.
He's a good guy. All right, Georgia at 2, Bama at 1. Are you good on this list?
Yeah.
I like LSU at 1, Georgia at 2, Bama at like 3.
I'm fine with that. I think 3, the margins are like those top 3, the margins are kind of interchangeable. Yeah. You can make a case as to why LSU is the best. I wouldn't disagree with you on that.
Screech talking, Kirby.
What are they talking about?
Screech say you got a question for me.
I do have a question.
He's trying to run up on my block and ask me a question. I've been watching way too much Wire.
I was gonna say, where's this lingo coming from?
I'm just standing on this corner right here trying to get these takes off, dog. What you got for me?
All right, so my question revolves around this. Obviously, Lane Kiffin has done a shitload of things in the transfer portal this year, more than kind of I would say we've seen any team do. Like an overhaul to the point of you've kind of pushed your chips in. We're going all in on this natty. If Lane Kiffin does win a natty this year, does it kind of change the precedent that you can't really win at a super high level by building a roster of transfer? Because we've never seen it before. Like you go back to all the past 5 national championship teams, which is when I think the transfer portal really started to gain momentum. LSU wasn't really built off transfers. Now, granted, Joe Burrow, but it wasn't like the entire roster was. Bama in 2020 wasn't. Georgia 21-22, all homegrown. And obviously Michigan in 23 is probably the best example of this, of where it's just your roster is the guys you've developed within. So it kind of leads to this idea that you can't really win at a super high level if you recruit via the transfer portal. Now, if Lane Kiffin wins this, do you think that changes things?
The first real he flipped the roster real quick, had a bunch of transfers, and they won a bunch of games was Mel Tucker at Michigan State.
Right. But
that was it's not sustained, and you didn't win a title. You're talking about winning a title.
Correct.
If Lane Kiffin wins a title at Ole Miss, first and foremost, Florida's got to find a new coaching candidate. That's unfortunate for them because that national title would lock him in at Ole Miss. By the way, if you're new to the show, I have a theory that Lane Kiffin's going to end up at Florida when Billy Napier is inevitably fired. Let's continue on this path, though. If he wins a national title at Ole Miss, I think you're right. I think everybody will. The first take segment will be Look at what Lane Kiffin did with all these transfers. Who's the next school that's going to buy a championship? That's going to be the very first headline. But I think Ole Miss and Ohio State did it the same exact way. Follow me out. They had the guts, like they had the core, you know what I'm saying? Like it was there.
Right.
The core machinery of a national championship roster was there. Last year, Lane Kiffin did something that Ole Miss hadn't done. You know what I mean? They went places where that program had not.
Correct.
Under him. They were an 8-5, scrappy, talk some shit. Maybe we got to run in a type of football program. And then all of a sudden they're a 10-win program. Maybe they had a chance to make a national or a college football playoff run last year. Okay, things didn't go right. You get your the break drums beat off you against Georgia. You don't look ready. Okay, well, you were close. And he mentioned after that game, we have to get a roster that looks like that. You know what I'm saying? We got to get guys like that. Well, they go out and they buy guys like that. They get invested in football players that look like Georgia's roster. They are much more compromised of that. Ohio State at a much higher premium, right? They already had much better guts, much better core,
Correct.
But it still wasn't enough. They were still finishing second in that conference. Well, he goes and he buys extra toys and extra, rims. If we're going to continue the Fast and Furious discussion, puts a supercharger on that car, and now, hey, you're a national title contender. You better go win one type of pressure. So I think the easy take is, yes, we can buy titles now. Look at what Lane Kiffin did in the portal. But in reality, it's got to be more of a discussion of, well, look what Lane did the 18 months before the 12 months where he won a title.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? That would be my initial thought process of was, no, I think it was a little bit more difficult than let's just take a swing once. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
In basketball, take a swing once.
Right.
In football, the lifespan of the roster is just too broad to just take one hack at it.
I completely agree. But I do think that is an aspect of what Lane Kiffin has done that's going to be overlooked. Like Lane Kiffin has elevated that Ole Miss program to a point where now you can be able to take that next step. Whereas before, maybe not necessarily. 10 years ago, Ole Miss was not the same program. Now, granted, they were beating Alabama at that time, but I do think that Lane Kiffin has taken the correct steps to where you can now go all in and push all the chips in. The inverse of that is, though, if you don't win it, I mean, it becomes this method will never work.
Yeah,
because we've essentially watched, if Ohio State or Ole Miss don't win it, we've essentially watched two teams go more all in than anyone ever has on the transfer portal, like spending enormous amounts of money to get players, and you still come up short. So I think that's going to really.
I think the Ole Miss story is a success story if they get an 8 seed this year, a 7 seed. I think all that money is vanquished. You know what I mean? I think it all comes to a purpose for that fan base. I don't think Ole Miss fans are natty or die. Ole Miss frat guys are probably natty or die, but like the fan base probably doesn't have, I don't know, do they have those expectations? Like we have to win a title this year or else? Or is it just like, man, I really hope this is the one. Like we really have a shot this year. Let's be hopeful that we can get this done. I would imagine that's the temperament of that fan base.
I mean, yeah, I feel like there's also kind of the idea that like this is the one window we have to do it.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't consistently do what you did this year. Like you can't keep going all in on the transfer portal, just going all out, spending this much money to build a roster. You think you can? You think they can go in and get? I
mean, he's spending little to no money on the high school trail. Little to none.
That's true.
So whereas, most schools are on average, according to On3, we didn't even talk about this. According to On3, first of all, Jaden Rashada is a verb now. We might want to talk about that one of these shows. That was a pretty funny revelation out of that. But the average asking price for an elite recruit is like $400,000 right now, annually. So instead of doing that, and if you're not doing that, I think they signed 1 5-star out of the state of Mississippi last year, not this class, 2 classes ago. He started as a true freshman for them this year, was a freshman All-American or All-SEC. But if you're not spending it there, you have to spend it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they just go in. Maybe they just go all in every year on high-priced transfers.
Yeah.
Which I think the transfer market is a little bit cheaper than the high school market is what it sounds like for elite prospects, for real roster movers. You know what I mean? Based off the averages we read in that one article a couple weeks ago, I think it was from 24/7 or CBS, about the average cost of each starter in powerful football.
I remember that.
Where a wide receiver in the portal right now might cost you $100,000. If it costs you $250 to pay a freshman, why would you do that?
Right.
If you're Ole Miss. If you're Georgia, it makes sense. If you're Alabama, whatever, it makes sense. You got time. Lane Kiffin's got small windows. So I think more importantly for a program like Ole Miss, I would time this up based off quarterback competency.
Yeah,
If we got a championship level quarterback, let's go. If the guy is just a jag, if he's just another guy, then hold off, guys. Y'all save that money for the next go round when we know we got a dude, or let's go pay that guy to get him in.
Yeah, but this is Jackson Dart's last year, and the window seems to be very short to do this, which is what made me ask that question.
Bet. All right, greatest cover athletes ever.
This is a harder list than I thought it would be.
I don't think there's a lot of great ones. I got 3.
Really?
Yeah, and I stretched the third one. Or excuse me, no, I didn't even stretch the third one. I like 3 of them. First of all, what's his name? Coach Walsh being on this? Bill Walsh being on the first 2 of them? That was a little wild to me. Stanford? In Stanford stuff. He was that I thought Bill Walsh was strictly 49er guy. But the fact that he was getting carried off in Stanford stuff, that was a revelation. That was new information to me.
Shout out to
so yeah, the Bill Walsh ones I cut out, but I got my top 3. Do you want those?
Let's hear them.
All right, in order. Number 3, I think they messed up. I think they should have done Florida State war paint, but Tim Tebow, I think that clip or that cover was pretty awesome.
That was a great cover.
Just for what he meant to college football as well. Number 2, Reggie Bush, 07. Give me that one.
I've played that one the most probably.
Give me that one. Just the cover photo of it in general. He's doing the Reggie. Ball away from his body.
Yep.
He's obviously making somebody miss. If I literally do this, you know who I'm doing. I feel like it's the Reggie. Mm-hmm. The ball away from the body was always, to me, sentimental Reggie Bush or picture perfect Reggie Bush. And then number 1, I got Ricky Williams in the visor breaking a tackle against Texas A&M on the 2000 copy.
Yeah, that's a good
That
one.
thing is clean. The Oakley visor with the mirror tint. I don't know if you can get better. I really don't.
So did you do it by quality of the cover or quality of the player?
Yeah, I just what it looked like. That's what I want right there.
I've got a slightly different.
And I got some other talking points here that we need to talk about because this is a fruitful topic. So go ahead.
I think my favorite is the 13 cover with Barry Sanders and RG3.
Yeah.
2 legends already. So, and the fact that Barry Sanders, you kind of got that old school feel to it. That's probably the best cover in my opinion. There's a lot of good cover athletes on there though.
Chat's talking about the Fitzy one.
Yep. The Larry Fitzgerald one was kind of a basic cover though.
Yeah, it was.
Larry Fitzgerald's an incredible athlete, but the cover itself was kind of basic. I liked the Michael Crabtree one for 2010.
You're an Xbox guy?
Yeah.
That was a PS3 guy. So that gets us into another topic that we'll save.
I have Tim Tebow on my list as well. And then Darren McFadden also made this list. I think that's another really good cover.
Is that another optional one?
Yeah, I believe that was 09.
Yeah.
Or 08.
Couple of years where they did this, where it was certain...
They changed it by console.
And by location and vote.
Correct.
And just different things. There's just different ones. So, yeah. Of all of the covers... There's one thing that stuck out to me, and I'm a college football guy. This is what I do, right? We talked about earlier. This is what I do for a living.
For sure.
There was a couple covers, even I remember the look of them, where I had to ask, who is that? Who is that? I got 3 of these. You ready? 3 who is that's. First and foremost, I got to NCAA 2003. And I literally wrote down on my notes, this has to win Who the F is That award. And it was Joey Harrington with the Ducks. And then 5 years later, I have to write down, never mind, Boise State quarterback Jared Zabrinsky. Jared's tribal tat on Gerald Zabrinsky. Jared, I already forgot his name. Tribal tat on the left arm. Did he solely make a cover because of the Statue of Liberty play? Is this the same guy?
I think it is the same guy.
Why didn't they put the proposal joker on that thing? That's what they should have put.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's probably why he got on the cover.
That's why he got on the cover. But I'm saying, why not put Johnson on there? Isn't Johnson the guy that actually proposed to old lady?
I think it is, yeah.
Good pull.
Great pull.
Tremendous. For a 5A guy that probably wasn't going to play in the league.
That was one of the first college football games. This is a sidetrack. That was one of the first college football games I watched that wasn't Georgia football that I understood watching. It was like, oh man, this sport's really, really fun.
Bro, no way she can say no in that situation, right?
Yeah. Kind of kind of a shitty ask.
For real. Just some tremendous pressure.
Yeah. You can't say no to that.
Can't say no to that. National television right there, as he won the damn game. Can't do that. Yeah. Big award here, or big nominee for this award. Of who the hell is that? Brian Johnson, Utah, on the PlayStation copy of NCAA 2010.
I remember seeing that.
What? I mean, I remember buying that, going, Mom, I don't know if that's the right copy.
Yeah, it was this bootleg ass.
Yeah. Where'd you pick this up, Mom?
The worst one, we did a version one year, like the console Wii. It was just the Michigan State Spartan mascot.
I thought you were talking about you and the homies out here coding a video game.
Like the console Wii, like with the WII. The Michigan State Spartan mascot was just the cover athlete.
Yeah,
like that was it. I remember.
Oh yeah,
I remember going to my friend's house and playing that on the Wii. It was like,
did Mark Lopez make Sanchez make a cover copy in that year?
Carson,
on the PSP cover?
Maybe, yeah. I know Carson Palmer was on 04. Dude, I don't know about Mark Sanchez.
Why in the hell is the PSP not out? Why can't I play a PSP?
I don't know, man.
That was the greatest video game invention in the history of video game inventions. The little analog stick. Mm-hmm. Did you have one?
No, I had a DS.
Bro.
We weren't touching that kind of paper.
Oh yeah. Oh, they were pretty steep.
Yeah,
they were pretty steep. PSP was crazy though. We need to bring that back. You got any other thoughts here?
No, but I mean, you want to transition this to the players we didn't get to play with?
Oh yeah, we had to do this topic.
Me and Jay Will kind of talked about this once, but I didn't make like a full fleshed out list I thought about.
I think I enjoy doing lists.
I like lists.
List radio is good radio sometimes.
Great.
Do we do radio?
I would consider it radio.
We should. I would.
I mean, you're just watching people talk to each other, so I would call it radio.
I mean,
when we're not doing film breakdowns, it's radio.
I think it would be pretty cool to maybe one day turn on your radio station and 92.9 The Game, 680 somewhere here in Atlanta, where radio might be a dying form, whatever. Here we are with a lot of people watching us, but I grew up listening to those things.
Yeah, for sure.
Stations and stuff and whatnot. I remember the first time being on 680. I was a little nervous. Top 5 players we did not get to play with in NCAA. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You can go first.
I got OLIs. Outside looking in. You ready?
Let's hear it.
Any combination, any order, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. I think they would have went stupid in this game.
Yeah.
A halfback toss into the boundary to Christian McCaffrey, that's 85 untouched right now. Guaranteed. Okay, in this game. A halfback counter with Saquon chill out.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm telling you, chill out. Did you know the run tricks in the final NCAA 14 video game? If you got into doubles, okay, they had a halfback counter. Okay. Yeah. But if you took the inside slot receiver on the side to the counter and took him and motioned him to the other side, now we got 3-by-1 and we're running counter to the single side. The safety would always roll over.
Yep.
And now we're banging our head on the goalpost almost every single time.
My favorite was do 2 like easy dump pass plays and then run halfback draw.
Yeah,
because you get the OD line.
You're a halfback draw. You won games with halfback draw.
Yeah,
you're a sorcerer.
Yeah,
that's
halfback
crazy.
draw was my shit, honestly.
Okay, you're a screens and draw guy.
Yeah, I don't.
I'd be throwing controllers.
I don't do screens.
I'd be throwing controllers.
I don't do screans. Screens never work.
Still, you catch me on a couple draws, I'd be throwing controllers.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, no doubt. Where were we at? Outside looking in, Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. I would have done some wicked shit with Brock Bowers,
For sure.
I would have found some OP play, and it would have been over with, and we'd have just run after the catch. Would have been stupid.
Yeah.
I hope that I hope they're good enough to know what speed looks like, because the coordinators were using his speed in real life as this is game breaking. I hope they would be able to convert that into one of these video games. I have him. Number 5, Roquan Smith. As a shitty defensive player, the only time I'm not playing with somebody off ball or on ball, I'm rushing the passer.
Oh, you play with the D lineman?
I'm telling you, I'm shitty. I'm gonna dial your ass up as a coordinator, but yeah, my ass gonna be on that line of scrimmage, and either rushing you if I got a good rusher, or I'm adding in, and I'm gonna follow eyes or follow concepts, and that's gonna piss you off because I'm just gonna be an underneath defender. Like Nolan Smith would have been crazy at this, as an underneath defender. But if I'm playing with an off ball linebacker, give me Roquan Smith. Number 4, if I'm playing with a defensive back, it's got to be Minkah Fitzpatrick. I feel like it's the only time I feel comfortable. Maybe a Kyle Hamilton back in the day, but give me Minkah. Number 3, we're going straight rushing, like dual threat quarterbacks moving forward. Give me Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, Lamar Jackson in that order. I want that trio of quarterbacks, and I need them all because they're going to get hurt. Apparently, in this new game, they're going to get hurt.
You think Caleb Williams would translate well in video game play?
Hell yeah. Caleb Williams, and I added him because he's the guy that's just going, you're going to throw a controller because you're going to be mad he made that throw over and over again. You're like, I know it's a video game, but what the hell? Because he would do that in real life.
Right.
The play against I think it's San Jose State this year, where he's rolling around. Here comes the linebacker's in his face, and he puts his feet down, and he's flat-footed and throws 173 yards to touchdown to Brendan Rice. Just immediately. And it was like a video game. So, yeah, that would have been nuts on him.
Yeah.
That's why he's in there. What you got for me?
So you had a lot of mine. Obviously, I think Lamar Jackson, we can all agree, is like the one player that you would have loved to play with just because he's the most video game type character. Obviously, I knew you were going to pick him. So I went with Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels would be a very good player. Derrick Henry would be such a monster in this game.
I almost put him, but I think his premier year was 2015.
Yeah.
So he was probably on a roster if you really searched it in 14.
That's true, but I think.
But I'm with you. Give me 44 totes of Derrick Henry in that game. He had video game numbers at Alabama.
He did. Then the other two I have, Jabril Peppers would have been a lot of fun in this game because you can put him there. Now I get it.
I thought he was so overrated in college.
He was overrated in college, but the fact that you have a do everything type player,
he
would have
been overrated.
Travis Hunter is going to be so OP in this game. Jabril Peppers was Travis Hunter before Travis Hunter was Travis Hunter, I think.
I feel like I wasn't even here when y'all were doing all the video game stuff. I don't know if I'm going to love the gameplay.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they might have tweaked it too much. I think it has too many features.
No, I think it's perfect.
Okay. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I have no doubts about it being fun.
Yeah.
What I don't want to do is turn into Tim the Fat Man over here playing video games because you guys like it so much. So please just kind of like it. Because if you really like it, I don't love that. Because we work really hard doing show plans, and I'm gonna tell you I've done NCAA video content when we downloaded it and broke it on the console or the PC. It is the easiest content to ever make. Because all you do is turn a system on and start talking, and you're responding to what you're looking at. This stuff is hard.
Yeah,
we plan for hours to get this show to smoothly transition and sound good and go the length that it needs to go, and all that good stuff. And that stuff's so easy. So please don't like it too much. But I'm gonna have to do a little of it. Last
one I have on this list was Reuben Foster. Reuben Foster would have been a lot of fun to play with.
All right. That's that. We got a whole nother hour coming up right now. Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We back? We back. Ironically enough, I just got done harping about how your boy works so hard on these show notes and making sure I'll look at the show notes for the local hour. You ready? Look at that.
To be fair, though, they don't know how many you usually do.
No. Normally I'm a 9-page, 10-page a night guy. That's a lot. That's what I am. It's a lot. And I don't know how much. Sometimes I look at it a lot, but sometimes I don't. It is what it is. We got a loaded show here on the local hour for you. Zaden Walker, a 5-star linebacker commit out of Sly County. You don't say the H. I've heard the locals. They're making sure you don't say it. Sly County, not Sly County. Sly County, Georgia. The 5-star linebacker. We're going to take a look at that film tonight. And your boy's got special film, okay? And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why it's important that I do what I do during the spring, because I just got done watching this guy practice, not play, practice. We're going to go through a class update. We're going to take a look at our list of official visitors over the last 2 weekends, okay? And kind of give you just a fresh update of where things are, what we're feeling, what kind kind of the projections are, what that sliding scale majiggy is feeling right about now as the summer continues to heat up. This commitment kind of came out of nowhere. When I first interviewed Zaden, he was a July 4th commitment, okay? And this one popped July or June 6th, or June 5th. So this kind of happens every once in a while. Obviously, Georgia got another transfer commitment today, Colin Gill. We will talk about that tonight as well. And one defensive back might be the best one yet coming out of the Georgia program. So we'll talk about that one. And, of course, we're going to keep talking about this Georgia-Alabama offensive line debate because I'm not going to say your boys got issues. I just don't think people know. I don't think people know how deep and how great Georgia's going to be on the offensive line room. You might know, the local fan here that listens to us on a day-to-day basis. But, I don't know if the national audience quite knows just yet. Welcome in to our local hour. I want to thank everyone for being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, rate, review, and all that good stuff. Shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. If you have not already, head over to prizepicks.com. Use promo code Brooks. You get a 100% deposit match. Had a meeting with them today. They are very, very pleased. However, it is contract season. You know what I mean?
Keep pleasing them.
Keep pleasing both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On both sides, it's a two-way street, dog.
For sure.
As all relationships are. I think that's what sometimes people forget. Don't want to be in one of them one-way relationships. Anyways, so shout out to the local hour. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Zaden Walker. Zaden Walker, official measurements. You ready, Kirby? I put him in his article today. I got these from Georgia after his official visit, or one of his visits recently. Let's see here. Let's go to this article. Golly, man, we've been pumping them out lately, huh?
We have.
We've been grinding over at Dogs Daily. Shout out, dogsdaily.com. Listed at 6'3", 220. That is the listing. He is officially listed after, or officially measured in at Georgia, 6'1", 3/4, 232 pounds.
Good God.
That's a big man.
Solid human.
As a solid human. As I wrote, do you want me to? I'm going to read this off. I've been reading good lately. Here's my, I've been reading good lately. The bar is low. Here we go. This is his official, evaluation from yours truly here on the website. Official measurements from Georgia show Walker is a verified 6'1" 3/4, 232 pounds. He's college big as is. Athleticism. Walker has spent most of his high school career being as close to the football as his position value will allow. So like most athletes like this, he was put on the edge to start on defense, and he was given the football on offense at running back. He's making the transition to inside linebacker now seem as seamless as can be, attesting to his athleticism. Instincts. I saw Walker this spring in some of his first reps transitioning to inside linebacker, where he will play in college, and you'd have thought he'd been playing it for years. He has natural ability to avoid blockers and a natural nose for the football. He finds it first and he moves first, on top of the fact that he's extremely athletic. Polish. There's still there's still going to be some growth for any collegiate inside linebacker that hasn't played it at all that much. At this point, it's a matter of hours at the position and reps under premier coaching. Playing for a position coach like Glenn Schumann, the transition time will only be shortened. Bottom line, the inside linebacker room is a tough room for any freshman to walk into at the University of Georgia. It's a room filled with very special athletes and outstanding football players, and he's going to be someone who fits the bill immediately. There you go. All right. Let's do
film right away?
Yeah, let's do high school film first. I got it over here.
You got it?
Yep. I've already clicked out of the ads because, HUD will be getting you. Now, we got to close Discord. Discord was popping today as usual. Here we go. You ready? So as I read in the film evaluation right there, right? We don't have lights on. Don't do this.
Oh, shit, I forgot those ones.
Yeah, I forgot those ones, huh? Man, J-Will, baby, get back, dog.
Dude, I'm not 6'5".
I know, Stretch gets them without the chair. Your boy out here got to pull chairs out with my little wee man ass. All right, here we go. As I read in the eval, you can tell that my man's is going to be close to the football. This is him right here, right? He is going to play on the edge, right? All these 6'1" plus guys, 225 plus guys, especially when they walk in as a freshman being this big and fast and strong and all this good stuff. they're going to put him on the ball. They're going to say, hey, just hunt it, right? Just go get it. And that's exactly what he did, right? All high school year and all of this tape. You're going to see him doing all this stuff, playing on the line of scrimmage, making impactful plays, getting upfield, doing all this good stuff. Whereas in college, we're going to have to move up off the ball. Here we go. Same thing. We're going to stretch it. We're going to stretch the play, and we're going to be violent upon contact. He uncoils his hips extremely, extremely well, okay? By the way, this is a guy who was like numero uno on the board from Jump Street, okay, from freshman year on to the senior year, all right? Very, very violent, okay? And a pedigree, all right? A big-time pedigree on this cat right here. We're going to see him drop right here. Oh, here you go.
He takes great angles.
Great angles. And here's why. That's what I'm talking about. Pedigree is important, all right? Big brother, Marquavius. I believe Marquavius. Marquavius played at Auburn, all right? His older brother, slightly older brother, Jalewis Solomon. He is at South Carolina right now, all right, and obviously Zaden is a 5-star, all right, so this is a long lineage of guys who can hunt it, you know what I'm saying? And when we talked about the in-person eval, right, and when I wrote the eval down, I talked about a natural nose for the football, Curb. That's what you're seeing right there, on top of him being able to find it now in tight spaces. He's got a great, oh my God. Shit.
Was that a tackle?
No, that was him blowing up the right tackle, my boy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. This is, boy, you question playing football after that one.
I mean, that's a slow get off the ball.
Yeah, man.
You were asking for that to happen, but that is impressive.
All right, we're going to see him catch it right
offense?
here. Yeah, a tremendous athlete. That's what I'm saying. They just get him close to the ball. On defense, you put him on the edge. On offense, you put him at running back. Here he is right here. He did this multiple times at practice. I think you'll see it in the practice tape that we're going to show you here in a second, where it's just like he touches the ball and coach is like, touchdown, because he just out here doing this. But I think the rest of the tape is this.
What's his 40? Right? Oh, wheel route.
I would say he's, I don't want to say, I can say, I think. Give me a second while we watch this. Comment on this, Curb.
I mean, just the game speed he plays with. I don't think he's obviously not a natural running back, but when you're one of the best athletes on the field, they just put you
long strider.
The ball is. Here he is on the edge again. The question I'll ask you while they're doing that is, if a college team has a certain idea where they recognize that this player isn't necessarily going to, that's a wide open, isn't necessarily going to play at the position they're playing in high school, will the recruiters of that college team then kind of put pressure on the high school coach to say, hey, maybe you want to move him here?
You talking about the coach that has him committed? Like, or wants him to get committed, like, hey, we need to move this guy because we want to see him.
Correct.
Type stuff. Yeah. They'll. I mean, he's moving there now. As a senior, he's going there. And that's the point of the upcoming film. And the whole reason that I wanted to go see him this spring, I didn't know what they were going to do with him. But it's ideal when you get there where they're making these changes. I can't find the 40. I'm going to say 4.65. But fast enough, big enough, strong enough, all that good stuff. Here's the deal. That's him playing the edge, right? That's him out there doing all that fun stuff that great high school football players do. This is him out here playing the position, right? Playing the position that he's about to go play. You don't have to zoom this in. This is all him, okay? He gonna feel the frame. You know what I mean? Everywhere he goes, he gonna feel the frame. I was almost stunned, Kirby, to find out that he was he's just under 6'2". This does not look like a just under 6'2" human.
He looks like a big boy.
Yeah, he is filled out, ready to go college-wise, all right? I would imagine I drove through Sly County, ain't much to do out in Sly County except play football, lift weights. This is what man, give me that, what do you call this, keyboard? This is what I'm talking about, man. This guy has been standing on the ball for years now. He's been doing this. Put me in one. My ADD head ass. He's been standing on the edge doing this for 3 years in high school football, probably his whole life, right? He's been doing this, and everything is, let me run to the ball. Not getting blocked very much. He's been doing this his whole time. Now, we're going to ask him to do this. We're going to ask him to do this. Stand like this, play on the balls of his heels, play horizontally. When he sees grass, plug and go. Those are two totally different things. And that's why I get very frustrated when people don't talk about it. They'll talk about the transition, and B, they don't allow people the time to transition. Because sometimes some bitches come through like this, where they ain't never done it. And this is the very first clip of the day, Kirk. The very first clip of the day, Buddy comes to balance, sees grass, sprints through it, notices pass, jumps up and gets his hand in the damn play. It's like, Huh?
The craziest thing about this is there's not one false step.
No.
Go ahead. Do enough people know what a false step is?
I would hope so. On this channel, people know what a false step is. On this channel, for sure. I want to put him in slow-mo, correct? Because he's moving too fast to even notice what you're talking about. No false steps. Zero.
Yeah, I mean,
he's constantly gaining ground.
He's gaining ground constantly, and that's one of the main keys to avoiding a false step. Like right here when he accelerates, right about there.
And then
takes that right step. Left foot doesn't move back at all. That's insane. People don't understand how athletic.
Here's the deal. I talk to sources, and I don't even got to do. I can talk to the coach. When Schumann saw him 6 days a week, 10 days before they were still practicing, I called him at the end during scrimmage day. He was still playing edge.
So he's been doing this for 6 days.
Like 5.
Good God.
Like 5 or 6 days. He's been out here standing up.
Let's see.
You can even tell in his stance he's a little bit uncomfortable, right? He's a little bit uncomfortable.
There's a small false step there. You can tell he wanted to.
Yeah, but now he's peeling back out. I want to play this at full speed. This one. Max, I hope you're not watching the show. Because I know my remote's over there. I just haven't charged it. You see him bracing for impact right here? In between strides? Did you see it in slow-mo?
Let's watch it again.
Right? In between strides right here. He'll catch his right foot twice.
Yep. Little hop.
I guess like Smile would do stuff like this and still does on tape, where his body moves before contact to prepare himself for contact, and he's doing it subconsciously. Dead clip.
Man, I miss inside period.
You missed inside run period?
I missed inside run period.
Oh, we're gonna jump it outside again. Now he's got the quarterback. All right, we're playing light on the cue. Was that a tackle I missed? No. Yeah, it was. He ran over somebody right here. Oh,
good God.
He caught the pulling guard.
Got chipped too.
He caught the pulling guard in the mouth. Look at this. Doink!
That's who that was. Good God.
Oh man. See again what I'm talking about. This one. See him loading? Mm-hmm. He loads right before contact.
What's his clean max? Do you know that?
I have no clue. I bet it's 300 plus.
Really freaking high.
Right? It's got to be 3. He's 3 plates guy. He's 315 guy for sure. This is what I'm talking about. Look at him. Look at him load for impact and then deliver strike. Boom. You can draw a line through him. This is why he's so explosive. Look, boom. You can draw a line right through the body of the dude's throat. This is why I don't worry. You know what I'm saying? But I know this. This is the only tape this is my camera. It's the only tape that exists of him doing this so far. So I don't know. I 5-star him, no doubt. But he a dude, man. In the Miami gloves, unfortunately, this day. Bro, he told me afterwards, he was like, damn, dude, you should have told me you were coming out. I'd have put the right gloves on.
Bro, I used to wear my Nike Elite, like purple and red socks to practice.
Oh, he's finna light you up, center. That's unfortunate. Oh, man. Oh, cross-gapping. He was deacon. He was slipping. Blow the play up, blow the play up, blow the play up. Next play. How's the chat liking this?
Chat likes him. The chat, anytime we do film, chat likes it. So.
Hell yeah, chat. There he is again.
Got caught.
Now he's going to spin off.
That's an incredible play for making the wrong. Now,
for making the wrong, he should be square.
In the SEC, this isn't happening.
No. You
got to bounce that. But the fact that you're able to spin off and be in the open hole, you got to know that what I assume is the guard. I don't know who the center is. Yeah. You got to know that guard's going to come off of you.
Talk about play anticipation. Now, I know it's probably a stunt. Again, with the coming to balance. You
is that
see
like
him?
A delayed blitz almost?
Yeah. I mean Georgia does the same thing.
He's shooting
all we're trying to do is ignore the picture. Hello, Siri, shut up. Here, all we're trying to do is, like, if this is the offensive line, right? And the back's on the right, and our mic's here. All we're trying to do is flash and plug A to take this nose tackle's double team and jack that shit up. Because these two are trying to push over here, right? And he's trying to run back here. We're trying to cut off the backside mic. All right, but if we flash that guy front side, it jacks everything up. So that's all they're doing right there. It's a pre-designed play. I'm more impressed with his ability once he gets past the line of scrimmage to immediately settle and come to balance off 1 foot right there, all right, and immediately be ready to explode right for when this ball carrier goes right, all right, to his right, and force a fumble.
That's
I don't
probably
know if you noticed that.
That's probably one of those coaches' scripts where like, let's see what he does here.
I only had one coach this spring that I could tell he rigged the script.
He was drawing it up because he knew you were coming.
Yeah. I could tell. I'm not going to say it, but I could tell what he was doing that day. It was like, bro, y'all are getting shit done because Buddy's just shutting everything down. Why are we doing this? That's why we're trying to make bro look like All-American.
Oh, you double teamed the nose and ran trap right into it.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that obvious. You don't even have to do it when these kinds of guys are out here. You just like put the ball at them a couple times in a row, and they just make plays. But nah, this wasn't one of those cases. They were trying to get shit done.
Oh my God.
This is him playing running back. Look, he picks the ball up one-handed. Look at this. Look at that. He picked that ball up one-handed.
What was his team's record last year?
Oh, they went to playoffs. Yeah, it's all him.
I was going to say.
It's all him and his brother last year. Now it's all him. Oh, dude, you see the dip?
Dip and rip.
You see the dip?
Dude, the dip and rip.
This is what I'm talking about. This is like natural instincts. Right here. Boom.
Get skinny.
And gets up for the ball.
He would have blocked that.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, this dude's nuts.
Holy shit.
Now, here's the problem. We're reading guard away now. Right?
Yeah.
We got guard away. Guard's pulling. We got to go. We got to not only go, we got to start scraping now. Because guard just pulled, right?
That's
all right. So this is not an MA. This is we're not seeing it quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is where there's still room for growth right here. This is I've been playing it 5 days, coach. Give me a damn break. All right. But yeah, we got guard away. We got to go. All right, because the ball's going away.
Rewind that back though. What's his buddy on the left getting pushed into there?
Who are you talking about? The linebacker over here?
No, 77. I can't tell if he's the end or if he's
this guy.
Yeah. What do they run, a 3-3?
That's the 3. They're basically running mid.
Okay.
They got this guy in a 0, but he's supposed to be play side shade. This guy's in a heavy. That'd be a 4. No, he's outside 5.
Let's say it looks like
that's a guard tackle. No, he's a head up 4-eye. It's on an angle.
Okay.
I'm over here. He's in a 4-eye. All right, and there's another 4-eye over there.
Yeah, that 4 technique got pushed back into.
But what I'm saying is, as soon as we see this, as soon as we see this, we've got to go this way.
It almost looks like he's watching backside guard. Because watch, backside guard breaks down, he immediately cuts right there.
I think he's watching back. If you watch his head the whole time, and he's supposed to be reading the back through the heels of the guard. All right, so he's supposed to be keying this way. Right
now,
I don't know why I'm sitting here telling you this, but he's reading guard through the running back.
I mean, unless he's reading H, but even then, you got to go.
Even then, the H
and guard pull. So yeah, that's
so it's an MA. It's a miss. Got to go. What's he do here? Gets back in. Probably settled just a tad bit earlier, maybe. Mm-hmm. Definitely can squeeze faster and recognize what's happening a little bit earlier. Boy, 'twas a beautiful day in Sly County that day.
He's definitely reading backfield eye candy.
Yeah.
Because he's taking off right there with that jet motion.
Correct. This is somebody else making a play, making the clips. Can you believe it?
Look at there.
Look at there.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, good slip. Two couple good. Oh my God.
Did he just wrong arm?
Bro, he did all.
Wrong arm?
I was about to say, I got slowed down. He did all kind of shit up in here. Good Lord, buddy. Mans was in his bag. All right, so there.
Dips underneath the one pull.
And then.
Wrong arms the other. And then.
just arm, what do you call it? Chokeholds the running back. I think 73 is on offense too. So, yeah. All right, so combo, get the fuck out of here. All right, here comes the puller. Get the fuck out of here, too. And then I'm going to choke out the running back. We'll take it. What else we got? Was that a body? No, just some naff.
Just some friendly competition going on. What do you think, Kirb?
I like this guy. I like him a lot. He might need to gain like 10 pounds.
10? You want to play at 240?
No,
I don't want him playing at 240.
He's 225.
He weighed in at 232.
He wears it so well.
He weighed in at 232.
I think instinctually he's going to have to learn to play the position, but when you're playing edge your entire life, I like it.
Bro,
he's a 5-star for a reason.
Entire life, bro. Entire football career that's what I'm saying. It's like first day out, he's out there looking like that. That's crazy. Now, he did say that, and I believe him, that he would go out, and even when he was playing edge, he was making sure he was putting in his reads, even if it was after, practice. If he had to do it by himself, he'd go do it. So I believe it based off the initial, like I said, it's the first day basically doing that in full pads. Pretty crazy.
Very.
I got to find the 40. I don't know if I can get it pulled up this quickly, though, so it's not that big of a deal.
You can probably look on his huddle. I don't know if that's official numbers, but
those are whatever. I mean, hell, my huddle, I was 6'3". I ain't 6'3", buddy.
Yeah.
About 6'1".
I put my huddle into 6'2" one time.
Yeah, it's almost like your license,
Yeah, you can tell them whatever you want on your license.
Yeah. I'm 6'2", 270 on my license.
Congratulations.
I'm not that big anymore. I need to update that. Official measurements, 6'1", 248.
Attaboy.
We'll take it.
You going to put 248 on the license or 245?
Now you round, up or down. Probably these days, my vague self, I'd round down. I just rounded down.
You rounded down to 248?
Buddy, I lied on 248. I'm like 252. It just sounded better. I felt better. I'm self-conscious.
Okay.
Where are we at? Class update? Back to the board?
Back to the board.
Back to the board.
A lot of board today.
Here we go. This is courtesy of patreon.com/Brooks Austin. If you are one of these dog fans, all right, that is constantly in need of Georgia football information, intel, all this good stuff, this list came out on patreon.com/Brooks Austin like 2 or 3 weeks ago. This week's list was out yesterday, all that good stuff. So this one we have for a while. This was the opening weekend of, official visits. So let's go through this. Already entering today, there are 10 commits. All right, that includes Zaden Walker. So let's go through here and let's go ahead and circle the ones, or put a line on the ones that are already Georgia football commits. All right, that's Ryan Montgomery, Bo Walker, the running back, Elias Williams, the tight end, Ethan Barbour, the tight end. Let's see here, Darian
Ikenagban,
the defensive end or the edge rusher, is a commitment. Zaden Walker committed today. All right, that's that. All right, let's go through here and put a red line through names that they canceled official visits with, because this line article has been since updated. All right, now let's get back into our yellow. Let's talk about where things are with some of these football players. Already at 10 commitments. No idea what size the class is going to be this year, Kirby. Mm-hmm. I always project mentally 25 to 28. Anything over or under is kind of an anomaly.
Right.
In terms of high school football players. All right. You might have some classes come in at 24, 29, but rarely is there a 20 signee class or a 30 signee class, right? It's very rarely. It happens every once in a while, but very rare. All right. So let's go through here and talk about where things are. I do like where things are with Travis Smith. I'm going to put pluses for where things are, not checks, because I think if anybody comes through here, you're going to think I'm out here calling people silent commits. That's not what I'm doing. All right. I think you're in a really good stance with Travis Smith. If there's any, problem areas, maybe Tennessee, Auburn. But I believe that commitment's coming down like July 13th. So I think you should feel really, really good about something that's coming down the pike really, really soon. 6'3", so almost 6'4", 200 plus pounds. He's an 11,300 guy, Curb. But I talked to somebody about this, okay? And because I'm kind of scared off on him. I'm like, 11.3, that's not near as fast as some of these guys that run nowadays, right? Most of these guys are sub-10 guys, right? Or sub-11 second guys. And the feedback was that some of these kids, especially some of these bigger receivers, they get kind of spooked off from running again. They run like a first time that's not necessarily great, and they don't love it, and they get scared about, continuing to run and maybe running slower. So they just stop running.
Well, it's also harder to run when you have to think about it.
Correct. You're worried about it, or you're stressed about it. This is a game speed type football player. The person I was talking to about this was actually talking to me about Justin Jefferson, who is actually, I think, a much slower 100-meter guy coming out of high school, but game speed obviously could really, really run.
Right.
All right, so there's that. Taylor, I think you feel really, really good about that. I think the family loves the state of Georgia. Okay, so I think that might be in play there for the wide receiver. James Coley's done a really, really good job. I thought that was a bang-up job in the official visit situation there. Juan Gaston, the offensive tackle out of Westlake, this is the primary target at offensive tackle, I believe. The fact that he's in state, the fact that he's 6'8", the fact that he's got a 86-inch wingspan, okay, and the fact that he absolutely put on a freaking show at his spring game this year. I think Georgia is really, really heavy in on Juan Gaston, and when Georgia does that, I feel very, very good about it. Let's go ahead and mark through this. Sorry, I forgot to get rid of that. Special note for the Patreon folks. You probably already saw it.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah,
It's already happened.
That big of a deal. Yeah, it's already happened. He went and saw him. It's not a big of a deal. All right, Nick Brooks right here. Nick Brooks is a very interesting situation. I think he likes Georgia. I think Georgia likes him. I think it's a long way to go to National Signing Day. I think we can just leave it at that. I think he's uber talented.
Question mark maybe?
Let's just put maybe like a minus.
Well, that's under Michael.
Oh, my bad. Michael Carroll. All right. Where are we at? We're right. Nick Brooks. You want to put a question mark? I'm good with a question mark. Oh, my initial question was good. And then, I think my handwriting's slightly gotten better, even though I'm just doing lines, checks, and question marks here.
Looks better, yeah.
Michael Carroll, I think they feel really good about that one. However, the question is room. Okay, are they going to have room? How does everything else work out in the offensive line position group, right? Kevin Wynn, I think they feel really, really good about Kevin Wynn. Okay, I think they feel really good about the defensive tackle out of the southeastern part of Georgia. All right, let's group Justice Terry and Isaiah Gibson together. Okay, both USC commits.
Yep.
I think they feel really, really good about USC. We talk about both USC commits. I think we talked about this the other night about how this is kind of maybe like an agent play,
right?
Like we call them Mexican standoffs on this channel. I don't know why I dance with finger guns right there, but that'd be a nice little gif. Anyways, we talked about this the other day, Mexican standoffs, right? Where agents probably saying, hey, look at all this money. Look at all this money USC's throwing Georgia. You might want to come up a little bit.
Is this, this is purely hypothetical. If they were to flip, is this something you see on signing day, or is it something you probably see beforehand? Hypothetically, if they do. Or is it just kind of a who knows?
I think it's a who knows. I think it's a whenever.
So it could happen tomorrow. It could
honestly,
happen
I might tell you. Now that we're having this conversation, I might tell you to go ahead and write the stories, just in case.
Okay.
I'm giving you that directive as we speak, on air, live now. Prep them, just in case. Now, the one I know that we can wait on, and I know I prepped you before the show to ask me about this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say I feel really good about this. All right, the one I also feel really good about that you can wait on, and you can just go ahead and write the commitment story, make it evergreen, but we ain't gonna release it until probably National Signing Day. All right, is Elijah Griffin, the offensive line or the defensive line, out of Savannah Christian. Okay. Now, there are some threats there. Don't get me wrong. Clemson's in the mix. Look, I think I'm getting better. Am I getting better? Clemson's in the mix. Okay. USC's in the mix. There's some schools there messing around with Elijah Griffin's recruitment, or involved, I should say, in Elijah Griffin's recruitment, but I think you feel really good. Lagonza Hayward, I think you feel really good. Okay. Now, let's say, end of today, if all of those guys that I feel, quote unquote, really good about, we got 11, 12, 13, we'll put a question mark there next to Michael Carroll. We'll call it 15, 16, 17. There's two of them right there, right? 17, there's 18. Already at 18. All right? We're going to hold it firm at 18? So,
there's more. 18.
I know. We got a whole nother list. But on this list, we're going to hold it at 18.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's talk about the commitment, or not the commitment list, but let's talk about the visitors list that they got going on this week. Now, on this page, we are already currently at 18 on the We Feel Goods, right? We're already at 18. Here we go. All right. Now, Todd Robinson, I'm going to tell you right now, that joker came up to camp. That joker camped. That dude ran 4.48 at 208 some odd pounds at 5'11 and a quarter. wants to play defensive back. They gave him the green light to play defensive back, I'm pretty sure, based off the way he worked out. So I feel good about where they're at with Todd Robinson. All right. Now, we're going to see about Derek Meadows. I think we're going to see about David Sanders this weekend. I haven't gotten a firm, solid update on David Sanders in a minute, but here's my feeling. Ready? Got him. Just my feeling. Okay. When I start hearing Ohio State, Tennessee, Nebraska, I don't.
Red flag.
Not red flag, green flag, money. Green flag, no red flags. I don't want to talk about negatives. This ain't negative. This is business. This is what this is. Okay, so if you are a 5-star and you are a really, really highly talented football player, and I start hearing Ohio State, Nebraska, Tennessee, oh, here comes USC, here comes Texas. All right. I know what the business is. You know what I'm saying? And the business is business. So I start worrying about that from Georgia's perspective because I know they don't do that. But they will do that for that position. You hear me? They will do that for that position. That position matters more than anything other than QB. So they will play ball. And that's why I still feel really, really good. Can we put like a net neutral? Maybe like another question mark here?
Or you could do
It's still TBD. It's still to be determined. Let's go TBD. Okay? Oh, got to do it twice. Let's go TBD.
You're also writing slower.
I'm trying harder.
There you go.
Trying harder. All right, same thing here with CJ Wiley. I think the threat here is LSU. Okay? LSU, Pops played there. Mom was an athlete there as well. He's on an official visit this weekend, as says the list. Okay, this is a very, very important weekend, whereas last weekend it was, hey, let's try to work on finishing some recruitments here. Let's really work on it. Here is, hey, man, we might be fighting some uphill battles, but either way, we're in some damn wars this weekend. We going to fight. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So there's that. I think they feel really good about Dontrell Glover. I'm going to avoid some of these names that I'm not 100% filled up on. I ain't going to lie to you. I think they feel really good right now at this point in the summer about Dontrell Glover. I think they feel really good at this point in the summer, or at least I would, about Christian Garrett. Jared Smith, the so-called highest rated edge rusher, I believe, in the country. What they giggling about? What you goofy over there about?
We just got, it's funny because now we've got Tennessee fans and Bama fans arguing in the chat
about my predictions
with each other.
Oh, hell yeah. Smooth and Chris Foster.
That's it.
Hey, you boys doing it, baby. You boys doing it. Get on after each other. So there it is. All right, here we go. Jared Smith, I'm going to give you a little update a little bit later. A negative looks so bad on this one. I'm going to go TBD because I think they feel really good. I'm going to put an update on Patreon. Put it this way. When you start answering phone calls, when you start talking back and forth, and when conversations get active, we start, as a coach, I would start feeling a little bit better about where I stand in that recruitment. I think that's the case right there. Now here's the debate, right? Not even a debate. It's almost like hey, which one of you guys want to get on in, right? Ty Jackson, the inside linebacker from Florida, and Tavion Wallace, the inside linebacker for Wayne County. Both, if they want a spot, I'm gonna say they got it. All right, that's what I'm gonna say. But here's the thing, Kirby. Have you been noticing what Schumann's been doing lately?
What's Schumann been doing lately?
Schumann been on a Nate McBride search, is what it lied to me. Schumann got up in the activity on the recruitment from Mill Creek, linebacker over there. He got up on a recruitment from a kid from Alabama over there. And just like late offers in the 25 class, which is real weird to me. Not weird. I'm just going to say it kind of like, I noticed these things because Schumann offers are big. He's Glenn Schumann. If Glenn Schumann offers you a scholarship, that stamps you a backer, right? You would agree? Yeah. If Glenn Schumann offers you, you're a dude. I'm going to stamp you a guy. All right. But he been on a run lately. I don't know what's going on. But either way, these two might be battling for that, hey, who wants to hop in for a second commitment next to Zaden Walker? We talked about it pre-show. A third linebacker would feel like, why?
It's almost like you're making the argument of like, hey, which one of you wants to eventually transfer out?
We only played 2 of you. We've been taking 3 of you for the last 3 years that are just home runs, man. I don't feel like they missed on a backer forever. So if you're going to take a third one, we're just really, really clogging things.
Yeah.
But hey, I get to the point where I almost feel like you're stupid for questioning anything at that spot with that guy. But what would my job be if I did that? The Eric Winters kid, he is a teammate with, I want to say Xavier Hardy. There's 3 of them. 3 of them play out here. I think they might be all on this list. Mason Short obviously is a commit on this list right here. All right, so we're already at 18. We feel good about 19. We feel good about 20. We feel good about 21. All right. And there's some TBDs left on the board. And by the way, they're going to pull one of these. So there's 22. We're going to leave this page with what we feel like is 22. Now,
do you get 20? Do you get Mason Short as well?
Yeah, well, he includes in the original 10.
Gotcha.
All right. So we're already at 22. Now, I'm not saying, again, that all of that happens. But what I wanted to do, and mentally, myself as well, I feel like a month ago, I was sitting here going, it's almost June and y'all have 4 commits. Well, now it's almost, it is June and they feel like they're in good spots with a bunch of people. And names that aren't on this list already, names like Bryce Davis. I feel like the edge from Grimsley, they feel really, really good about. Who else? I don't want to go into full detail because I'll forget somebody, but point to be proven. There are names on the list that they still feel really good about that are not, on the first 2 weekends of OVs.
Right.
So there's that. Alrighty. We're going back to transition to the board.
We could honestly stay at the board if you want.
All right, let's just do it. I'm on my feet anyways. Georgia got a transfer commit today. Kind of caught me off guard, to be honest with you. I think it's a nickel projection based off current weights.
Current weights and just the overall play style.
Current weights are 6 foot 215.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, dude, you might be playing in the box here soon. You know what I mean? He's a big kid. From Washington, D.C., this is the same school that MJ Sherman went to. We're watching his high school tape. He's got 4 years of eligibility. So this isn't, I get so frustrated. Not frustrated. Frustrated is the wrong word. The most predictable reaction when any type of addition happens to any room, the first question I get is worrisome about the greatest player or the best player in the room. It's like, oh, what's this mean about Ellis? Or what's this mean about so-and-so? Why can't it just be they took a guy? Which I think is what this is. This is a former Dan Lanning football player, right? Dan took this guy. It sounds like there was some medical issues year one. Isn't that what you found?
Yeah, I think he got an injury.
All right, there were some injury concerns year one. All right, he was about to end up at Temple, and it sounds like there were some phone calls. Maybe he ends up at Georgia. So here we go. Let's go watch the tape. All right, I haven't seen this. Kirby, you watched it earlier. Is that correct?
I did.
All right, let's go take a look. He's playing true corner here.
He does, and then there's also a little bit of nickel.
Oh, Huddle killing me with the 32-second ad, B. Put me in 1. That's wild, dog.
I thought I had it gone.
32 seconds, bro? That is absurd. Who are you? Oh, my God.
Remember when YouTube...
Speaking of 32-second ads, shout out to our friends over at PrizePicks. If you have not already, head over to PrizePicks.com. Use promo code Brooks. You get a 100% deposit match. What does that mean? It means you put up to $100, you get instantly matched with $100 using promo code Brooks over at PrizePicks.com. Again, that's promo code Brooks. All right, here we go. That is professional radio. You can't tell me it's not.
That was good.
Here we go. I mean, just timed perfectly.
Ooh,
bro, cold drip. Hold on, run that back. Whoa. Bro, it's first team all drip. Damn that.
Brother with the
okay, with the ski mask. Okay, matched up with the wristbands mid elbow. I'm liking this.
Play sheet on the.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh, with the teammates looking rowdy too. I'm telling you right now. I'm liking this. I bet he's a fan of The Wire, being from Baltimore and all.
Probably.
Gotta be. All right, here we go.
Probably wasn't even born when that show came out.
Probably not. Find it, make a play on it. Oh, no, you didn't catch it?
Nah.
Well, at least he got his head around. That's promising.
This is why I think he's nickel.
Bro, he look like a nickel projection already with the hips. He got thick lowers.
Mm-hmm.
He got thick lowers.
He brings them too.
Yeah. He uncoils?
He does.
Hey, everything good happens with the hips, baby. Everything good happens with the hips. What we got?
Little special teams PBU.
Okay. What, they try to run a fake?
Nah. He just gets through and blocks it.
Oh, you talking block. Pump block. Okay. Springy. But yeah, you can already tell he's already grown into some man weight. Mm-hmm. Hold on. What they playing in the damn... They playing in the parking lot, dog. What's going on back here? They in the shopping center? Bro, is that a Subway? Are they in a shopping center?
I don't know. I don't know what ATI is.
Is that the athletic training institution?
Maybe.
I hope so.
It's got to be. Oof. That's got to be the field.
Well, yeah, I hope so. Okay, hold on. Oh, good click. Oh yeah. Well, I got nickel vibes all day.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, he look grown already. Who is that? That man look grown. Yeah, that's him.
He plays a little flat.
That man looked wrong.
Plays a little flat foot. He got caught behind on that one.
Bro, just put Mans on special teams. Let him roll. You know what I mean?
For real.
Year one, let it happen.
This is another good one.
That's a college body. Give it to that's an SEC body. I ain't even got to see nothing else. This is what you gonna do. Yeah, that looks like Bullard. That's the Bullard play, except Bullard picked it off.
Yeah,
Bullard got the ball skills to do it, but this is the Bullard play.
I hope this was like a 4th down or something.
I hope so too. Nope, first, 2nd and 10. Okay.
Pick it, catch it.
Gotta make it. Bro, what we got going on with going on with the film, coach? Y'all got me looking like I'm driving Air Force One. What are we doing? Get out there. Yeah, nah. Oh shit! He killed him. I like it. I like the tape. What was it? We don't have any intel on the injury coming out of Oregon.
I can look it up real quick.
Please do. Give me something on that, my boy.
My question is this.
Oh, come on, hit me.
Obviously, this is someone who they took for a reason. Mm-hmm. What's the reason? Because I feel like there's a lot of talent in this room already. Like, you weren't really hurting for a defensive back in the room. It's obviously a long-term play because he's got 4 years of eligibility. So it's not like they're looking for an immediate impact.
Bro, here's the funny thing. And I don't know. I'm going to be honest because I always am. This one caught me completely off guard. And every time this happens to me as a journalist, I let you know. I didn't know anything about this. Uncle hit me up this morning and was like, hey, are we adding anybody else out of the portal? And I was like, buddy, I don't know anything about any of that. I didn't know there was a good player left. This might be the only good player left. Maybe that's why they took him. You know? Mm-hmm. I don't imagine he's coming here and taking one of the 85. I would imagine the 85 are already spoken for. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So it's a good player. Take him. That's the mythology. You don't. And if he's going to play nickel, you need another nickel. Like we've been talking about this all spring.
It says he redshirted in 2023. Does not specify whether it was a injury related redshirt or just flat out redshirt. So
yeah, I mean,
4 years eligibility regardless.
Yes, gonna be there a while. Even though he do look like a grown man.
Yeah.
The commitment photos.
Yeah,
he look grown.
Looks big.
Where should we go next? Oh, we don't have much left. The Bama O-line discussion, I think we kind of hammered it out, but I'm with you. I'll take Georgia's over anybody's this year. I truly believe. Here's what I was going to say about this. Dylan Fairchild's locked in.
Yeah.
Dylan Fairchild is locked in right now. Okay. Going to be a really, really good season for him for sure. Who else we got? Ernest Green, going to lock it in pass pro. I think it'll be another year of really, 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 really clean pass pro.
Good.
So there's that.
We can go.
What we don't need to talk about too much is how much of a hit rate they've had in 2024 because it might spook some of them 2025 guys. But they hit a lot of guys.
Yeah.
That class is good. That class is really good.
My question for you is this.
Yeah.
Georgia's taken 9 transfer portal players this year. Like, that's more than they've taken ever. Why?
Nuevo?
Yeah. Why have they done that so much? Like, what do you think is the reason for this?
Well, they had 18 leave, didn't they?
Yeah, but I mean, they've had plenty more leave before that. Do you think it's just because of
it was 14 the year before.
So you think it's just because of the fact that the amount
more go out, more come in. They have to. I believe, right? The last couple of years, it was all right. So the first year it was 2, right? It was Lawrence Cager, Eli Wolf. The next year it was 4. That was the we're going to take a bunch of QBs class,
right?
And then the next year was like 6, and now it's 9. Will you go look these up for me? I think it's just grown because their departures have grown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why they're probably under the scholarship limit? Honestly, they sent several at corner. You know, they just took a DB. They're probably under the scholarship limit at defensive back right now.
I believe it. It's just interesting.
They've had a bunch go.
It's just interesting because this is a team that is kind of famous for not really relying on the portal, and it seems like they're leaning on it a little bit more than usual this year. Mm-hmm. Just a trend I've noticed. Nothing where it's like, hey, what's going on? I'm just curious. I'm asking the expert.
Expert?
You would consider yourself an expert, would you not?
Yeah, I would.
See,
definitely. I think I can talk that Georgia football with anybody on this planet. That's just the way I view it.
Okay, so they
Your
took
top 5.
They took 4 in 2020.
4 in 2020. 2 in 2019, like I said. 2, 4. I said 6 and 9.
Internet is slow today, brother. 4 in 2020, 3 in 2021.
So 2, 4, 3.
It's this internet, man.
Don't bag on the internet. We're out here running a professional business and live stream.
1 in 22.
1 in 2022. Who is that? Old quarterback from Nevada?
No, it's Joseph Daniels from Indiana.
Huh?
Who it listed.
Joseph Daniels?
And then 4 in 23.
All right. So a good bit.
So, I mean, they've doubled what they've taken.
In 1 year.
Which is like, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
Is this something where you think maybe...
Was it... They had 18 leave, right? Almost 20?
Between draft and portal?
Just in portal.
Yeah.
I think they had 20 guys hit the portal.
So you think it's just they're trying to re-up?
I mean, you got to fill them somewhere.
Yeah.
You know? And you're not going to take... I don't think you can take 35 high school guys or else Dabo would try to do it. You know?
Yeah.
Dabo's entire staff's children would be on the roster if it was possible, I would imagine. The Bama discussion was purely interior offensive line based.
Correct.
We talked about that earlier. Kamari's doing it. Kamari's doing it.
Could he be one of the most successful Kirby Smart era cornerbacks?
We're talking about Kamari Lassiter, by the way, fans or audience. I don't know why I said fans. It felt weird. Audience. Yeah, and it was there from the jump. Like the tape is there. I don't understand why, and I know why. I don't know why it didn't say. I don't
Production
understand.
numbers were low.
No, it's not even the production. It's the physical attributes. It's the height, weight, speed. He's not 6 foot. He's not 200 pounds. He doesn't run 4.5, and that's that. And those are the bare necessities. You know what I mean? Who was my man's? Who sang about the bare necessities?
It was in the Jungle Book.
Yeah, in the Jungle Book. Blue. All right. Blue talk about it. And the NFL talk about it. The bare necessities at each position. At corner, it is 6 foot. It is near 200 pounds. It is sub 4.5 or near 4.5. Like, that's it. And if you don't do that, your draft stock will plummet. And he did not do that. He ran 4.6. He's under 6 foot, and he was under 200 pounds. And apparently it doesn't matter how good the tape is. It doesn't matter if you're a 2-year starter. It doesn't matter by the end of your time in an SEC national title contending program. By the end of your time playing there, offenses would just not throw at you. Just wouldn't. So much so that you're such a dude that against Missouri, we're just going to walk you into the nickel. We're just going to let you play nickel. Hey, Luther Burden, best receiver in the country. They're going to try to play him at the nickel because they think they can get him loose there. Just walk in there with him. Figure it out. Ain't played nickel. Never. Not a snap of it. Just walks in there. It's all over the tape. It was all over the tape. And, fell. Because he's not,
right.
High weight speed.
But I mean, like, you look at the track record of Georgia quarterbacks. I don't know why I keep saying quarterbacks. Cornerbacks in the NFL.
Hold on. I got beef. Let's
hear it. Air it out.
Jonathan Williams in the chat. So he either working on vacation or he not on vacation and it ain't working. So either way, it ain't happening. So, buddy, get off the chat. Go enjoy your wife. That's a direct order. Amen?
Amen.
Get off. What were you talking about?
Oh, yeah. The track record of Georgia corners in the NFL hasn't been, like, outstanding. Like, Tyson Campbell.
Go ahead. I got him.
All right. The track record of NFL corners at Georgia hasn't been outstanding. Like, you've got Tyson Campbell, who's a starter. DeAndre Baker had a season or two. Then obviously we know what happened with that. Eric Stokes, first round pick. He's been dealing with injury. Like, other than that, like, there's not a lot that you can like point to from the Kirby Smart era. I think if Kamari Lassiter is like a solid top 50 corner in the NFL, he's probably the most successful Georgia cornerback out of anyone to come out of the school.
It's so weird because you think of Georgia and you think of elite cornerback play.
Yeah.
Is this akin to Alabama's offensive line success rate?
Very true.
You think of Alabama football, you think of dudes that move folks.
Yeah. It could.
They have been in the league
for sure. And I mean, Keely Ringo could also flower. He had a rookie year last year, so
he did.
But it's just interesting to look at this. Like, when you think of like strong defenses and strong cornerback play, Georgia's one of the first that comes to mind, but it doesn't really translate to the NFL. Is there a reason for that, or you just think it's misfortune?
Yeah, I think it's, well,
the NFL is hard.
no, I was going to say one of their best prospects in the history of Georgia football coming out at that position kind of messed his career up over a craps game. So
yeah, that did
didn't
happen.
help.
And then he destroyed his femur.
Yeah, and the other one, I don't think it's fair that Eric Stokes got overdrafted and then played opposite of Jared Alexander.
Yeah.
That's not fair. Like, Stokes didn't have a good year? Oh, no shit. The other guy's all pro. The other guy's one of the best 3 corners in the damn league.
Yeah, no one's throwing at him.
So
Stokes is getting all
you tell me Stokes had a bad year. Okay, thanks. You know what I mean? Like one of those things. I think that's bad luck.
Do you think Stokes is kind of the Dalen, like getting the Dalen Everett treatment?
Yeah, but it's the league.
Yeah,
it's the
fair.
league. So it's really tough, especially for a guy like, we knew the deal coming out of college. Like, tough finding the ball.
Yeah.
Always in phase, tough finding the ball. Well, if you're in phase and you can't find the ball, guess what? Completion in the league. Okay, that's it. So find the ball, find success. But no, I think it's very unfortunate. The Lewis scene, I think it had a hand and foot injury. Like, that's just bad luck.
Snapped his ankle in a special teams play. Like,
That's just bad luck. What are you going to do with that?
nothing.
You know what I mean? Like, Starks is going to be a hit. I find that no way in God's green of earth of football does Malachi Starks not have a successful NFL career.
You think Tyke and what about a guy like Chris Smith?
Chris is like going to play. I don't have to say the team, so I can say this. He was at Pro Day, and I was chatting up with Pro Day, and there's a come down a scout. He was
This year's Pro Day?
This year. He's already in the league with the Raiders, right?
Correct.
And another scout from another team come walking down the steps and remembered Chris from the interview process the year before, and basically told Chris right there in front of me, like, it doesn't matter where it is, like whatever happens there, like, you're gonna play, you're gonna be in the league for a long time.
Good.
Told him that. So, like, it's a matter of the body holding up for a lot of those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like Mark Webb's holding on to rosters.
Yep.
Tyreek Stevenson's gonna be a hit.
Yep.
He didn't finish with you guys, but I mean, it's not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot more not greats though.
There is.
Yeah,
It does, like,
that's a good point there.
It's interesting. Like, the defensive back position at Georgia, they've always had dominant play, but it's never seemed to, like, Richard LeCount, we talk about all the time, was one of the most dynamic safeties at Georgia when he was there, and it just never really took off in the NFL.
Too small.
Yeah.
Too small. Too slow. Javon's going to fix that. Tyke's going to fix that.
Javon will be a beast.
Javon's going to be like, he's got the highest, I think the highest chance to lead the league in tackles for a rookie this year.
It's going to be fun to watch
On Vegas. It's going to be really fun to watch. All right, speaking of fun to watch, we appreciate you guys for being here tonight, joining us. I know you got a lot of options, a lot going on. You chose to be here with us tonight. Thank you for doing that. We will see you Monday on this here network. I love you.
Jay will be back?
Jay will be back. And I got 15 minutes at least on his wedding.
Oh, the ass shaking.
Just shaking ass for days out there at the Williams wedding. So, yeah. Some cigar smoking.
Good stove.
Pure debauchery.
That's good.
Going on. It's going to be a good time. We'll see y'all.